private funding. Just received another $3.8 million right into our account from our investor today. And are moving fast on construction because we pay our bills and we pay it fast. And the construction trades are very happy about that. So they're able to finish. And I truly believe, I don't know, but they're probably all shareholders because there's half the city that we're in. And we're very excited about the prospect of jobs. And one of the biggest infrastructure in Lakeshore right now, infrastructure project. Very, very exciting to have the support from everybody in the town, the mayor, the council, and even the people in the wildland zoning department. I wanted to touch upon the pro-life where I know. Sure, I can try. I really, I felt bad for Alan because his job is to get you information in a timely manner and give you the material you need for yourself to make an educated, informed decision whether or not it'll buy and sell. He doesn't twist your arm. He doesn't tell you whether, it's at the end of the day, it's ultimately your decision. And he didn't see pro-life coming. And what we learned in our 60-day due diligence, I'd have to say we did. We were proactive. We filed a lawsuit. It was for a reason. It was strategic. And I reached out to him that day. I offered some condolences because I know he was getting threatened, which is absolutely ridiculous. So,
what's going on there? Everybody wants to know how many people own grow lights, right?
Yeah. Well, you have to understand when we put our team together, we have what we call asset protection, or asset protection. Okay. So we have it on both sides of the border. On the Canadian side, we have two seasoned law enforcement. It's 33 years and 32 years on the job. Currently retired. The one was the International Drug Trafficking Task Force. And on the U.S. side, an ex-DEA ICE agent, 32 years. Okay. And anybody we sit down with, we run background. So when Sterling and the team came to Michigan, Dean said, okay, I need driver's licenses. So what? We need driver's licenses. We're running background. Okay? And they kind of refused for a bit, and we said, well, then, you can leave. There's a door. There's no choice here. We do our due diligence because we have an obligation to our shareholders, but also to Health Canada, because we will become, I believe, the largest licensed producer. And we're investing the most money into our facility. And I was warned early on by politicians, do not leave egg on Health Canada's face. Make sure you do it right, do your due diligence. And we act in the best interest of our shareholders, but also in the best interest of the government, the patients who need access to medicine. It's a responsibility we have. So when I got a call from FINRA, I was excited. And I called Alan and he said, what? And FINRA came out and said, we are investigating every marijuana company. Every marijuana company. So I called, I posted it online. And this guy's cracked. So Alan called around. And then he called me back and said, Bill, nobody else is admitting to getting a call from FINRA. And the reason why I was excited is because we do everything by the book. We have nothing to hide. We're completely transparent. So he said, well, we have an option. We can either be formal or, we could be informal. I said, informal. Absolutely. Tell me what you need, I'll get to you. Timely and expeditiously. So the first email came and it had a list. And literally, within 30 minutes, I gave him everything he needed. And there was names of individuals. And he said, well, how do you know this guy? I said, well, that's an asshole on Facebook. And I was honest. I gave him my honest opinion. How do you know this guy? I don't know. But, he's bashed me and I remember his name. So, it was, I said, okay, well, what's going on here? And why? Everybody's asking why FINRA, why SEC, what are they doing? And I can tell you what they're doing. And this came from FINRA themselves. You have over now 120 companies claiming to be medical marijuana who have nothing to do with medical marijuana, who are using dual-use business and claiming a marijuana use. So according to FINRA and the SEC, if you sell an e-cigarette, you're not a marijuana company. And you're not to hold yourself out to investors as a marijuana company. They're jumping in on the hype. And that's what they're going after. They're also making people substantiate every single press release they come out with. You said, oh, you said you have $4.5 million. Prove it. I printed out the bank statement, circled the deposits, and sent it back to them. You said you have a deal with Hemp Technologies. Where is it? Sent the contract. You said you signed a lease. Sent the lease. Sent absolutely everything they needed. Why? Because there's companies out there that don't have that. They can't substantiate. They don't have the paperwork. That aren't real. Okay? And that's why they're coming calling. They're going to say, how are you medical marijuana when you're not touching a plant? And then if you say you're touching a plant in the U.S., you're a felon. Plain and simple. Then you're going to get halted either way. Because it's illegal, federally. That's why we're not in the U.S. That's why we're not touching in the U.S. right now. We're set up infrastructure, but we're not going there. So this is what they're looking at. And this is their concern. Because people are playing off the marijuana. And that's a concern to FINRA and the SEC. And I have to tell you, there's numerous discussions with Health Canada, and from my view as an attorney and what I've learned from talking to legislators on both sides, the feds, when they do reschedule, or I don't believe it's going to be decriminalization right away. It'll probably be de facto legalization. That's my view, personally, of what's going to happen in the U.S. They're not going to reward drug dealers. Why would they? You think that they're going to license somebody who's been illegally growing and selling marijuana on a federal level and say, here's the license? Why would you reward it? It's not going to happen. That's my view, personally. Okay? And that's why we're not in the U.S. right now. We do have a compliance team that's canvassing every country in the world to see the legality of hemp and medical marijuana. Then it's very important because that's how we came across Canada. And that's why we did the deal in New Zealand. And as a Commonwealth country, we know if and once licensed, I have to say you have to qualify because of Health Canada's rules, we will be able to waive it to Commonwealth countries. And we have a base with Hemp Technologies New Zealand. So that's my thoughts on FINRA, the SEC. And I know that they will knock on every single door. I personally know another company, and they're calling them every second day. Every second day. So today you've seen, we appointed John Germario, an amazing gentleman, who took down the banks on behalf of the government. He's an industry watchdog. He does work for the SEC, the FBI, the IRS, and he was appointed as our independent chairman of the board to protect shareholder value and shareholders. He doesn't take orders from me. He screens every transaction now going forward and ones in the past that we've entered into and ensures that it's in the best interest of shareholders and it's legal. And he works hand in hand with FINRA and the SEC. That's his job. He's also going to be instrumental in us uplisting. We're going to uplist. We have every intention to uplist. And he's the man who's going to take us there. And that's why he's here. This is the first step you will see of many in the near future to get that result.
What do you mean by uplist? You mean OTC?
Or NASDAQ.
So one of the things you told me when I visited was they're trying to register the NASDAQ is compliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, especially with John. We've been in discussions with John, and John had to vet everything. For him to put his reputation on the line and to join him, it was a big step. Okay. 33 years. I mean, his whistleblower, he gets 30% as a whistleblower on the banks. $2 billion is the fine. He gets 30% of that. His firm. $600 million. Okay. He believes in us. He believes in our vision.
Can you tell us about the audit? Are we still on schedule for that?
Absolutely. We're on schedule in our build-up, and we're on schedule to uplist. Absolutely. I have high-level meetings at the end of the month with everybody that's required.